So far, we discussed that the refractive index of material made of the prism, and in which minimum deviation calculated in the derivation of finding the refractive index of material medium of the prism, and minimum deviation from the graph. We calculated that minimum value is equal to 2i minus a. This is the formula for minimum deviation. Okay. So some other point, when we go for maximum deviation, we can also get maximum deviation. There are two limits. One is the minimum deviation, other one is maximum deviation. Yeah, minimum deviation is obtained earlier, that by the graph, whenever angle of incidence is increasing, angle of emergence will decrease. These two will approach, and whenever the angle of deviation is minimum, where I1 is equal to I2 from the derivation in the formula fifth equation, so we calculated finally minimum deviation is equal to I minus A. Okay. Next, further angle of incidence is increased, then what happens? Again angle of deviation increases. That was explained already in the graph. So once you reaching the minimum deviation, further angle of incidence increases, then angle of deviation will also increase and becomes a maximum. Where it maximum? When angle of incidence becomes 90 degree, means whenever the ray is almost grazing incidence, then when the ray is grazing incidence, then angle of incidence is how much? Pi by 2. For this angle of incidence, you will get maximum deviation. That maximum deviation is calculated that by using the condition, when I1 is equal to pi by 2, delta will be the maximum. Then here, this is incident ray. After refraction, this is emergent ray. So this is extended back. These two are intersect each other at this point. This is the deviation suffered by the light, which is maximum amount whenever angle of incidence is pi by 2. Therefore, whenever I1 is equal to pi by 2 angle of incidence, its corresponding deviation suffered is the maximum. Then I2 is, let it be, angle of emergence, that is, let it be E. Okay, small e. Now, delta formula we know, I1 plus I2 minus A. By substituting that, delta is a maximum value for angle of incidence pi by 2 and angle of emergence E minus A. So this is the maximum deviation suffered by the light. Okay, let us find the E value from it. What is the angle of emergence? Once you know this angle of emergence, then that is substituted over here. So you will get maximum deviation suffered by the light if angle of prism is mentioned. But definitely in this problem, angle of prism will be mentioned, that is either 60 degree or 45 degree, what not. Angle of prism is mentioned, but pi by 2 we know this value. These two are known values, but E, angle of emergence, we don't know. Let us find this one. Okay. So after finding this one, we can estimate that maximum deviation suffered. Okay. Now we know that R1 plus R2 is equal to A from the previous derivation. So here R1 is, so grazing incidence means definitely it is a critical angle. R1 is equal to critical angle. R1 is equal to C. Yes, C. Plus R2 is already given that angle of emergence E. Therefore C plus here C plus E or R2, whatever it may be, keep it as it is. R2 equal to A minus C. Of course, we substitute later. R2 is equal to A minus C. So here I2 is the angle of emergence, not R2. R2 is angle of refraction at the second interface. Okay. Therefore, R2 is equal to A minus C. After finding this, we have R2, that in terms of A minus C, and also I2, that is E. R2 is A minus C, I2 is E. Then using Snell's law at the second interface, that is AC, here refractive index of the material medium mu and sine of the angle R2, which is equal to, so 1 refractive index of surrounding medium 1 and sine of E. Okay, sine E is equal to directly sine E is equal to mu sine R2. Sine R2 means R2 put here, sine of A minus C. Right? Simplify this is equal to mu sine A plus A minus B formula sine A cos B. Okay. Next minus cos A sine B. Sine B in the sense sine A cos C minus cos A sine C. Right? So E is equal to sine inverse mu of sine A cos C root over 1 minus sine square C minus cos A sin C is equal to 1 by mu. We can substitute sin C is equal to 1 by mu, that is from critical angle. Sin C is equal to, we know, 1 by mu. Okay. So directly we can substitute sin C equal to 1 by mu and cos A. Okay. Right. E is equal to finally sin inverse mu of sin A root over 1 minus sin C is equal to 1 by mu square minus 1 by mu cos A. So this is angle of emergence. When this value is substituted here, then you will get maximum deviation suffered by the light whenever it is refracting through the prism. So finally we calculated that minimum deviation formula and also maximum deviation formula. We derived both. This is the minimum deviation formula and this is the maximum deviation formula. Then also this substituted over here, you will get final answer delta maximum. Okay, right. This is maximum deviation, that is minimum deviation. One more point. So here, by the law of reversibility, so here in the graph, we can observe that the maximum deviation in the graph is shown delta max. Angle of incidence is pi by 2. Angle of emergence is E. And what is the maximum deviation suffered? Delta max, this one. So that is here the formula that can be gives whatever the value, that is angle of prism is given, and all these values are given by substituting, you will get maximum deviation. And second point is, so by the law of reversibility, if ray is reversible, suppose this is a prism, from this side AC and this is AB, from this side grazing incidence, the light is grazing from this side, and after refraction, so it undergoes refraction and it is giving the maximum deviation, it extending, then here angle of deviation, this is also maximum. So what we have done here, so here the law of reversibility, we are reversing that light and imagine that light is a grazing incident on the second refracting surface, then same kind of refraction takes place, similar kind of refraction takes place, by which we are getting the graph, this will be reversed. This will be reversed. See here, the graph becomes delta, this is the angle of incidence. Of course, this graph becomes, so this is a maximum deviation. So in this case, this is E, this is pi by 2, this is I2 pi by 2. This is the angle of emergence. This is quite reversed. That's enough. But the deviation occurring maximum in this case also, whenever the ray is grazing on the second refracting surface and finally it emerges from the second refracting surface, that is first refracting surface, and finally giving its maximum deviation suffered. Okay, so this is all about the minimum deviation and maximum deviation, both are finished. Now let us go for special cases. Case number 1, limiting angle. What is limiting angle? This is the angle of prism for which the light is grazing incidence and after refraction it is grazing out of the second refracting surface. If it is so, the angle of prism is said to be limiting angle. So whenever the light is grazing incidence, after refraction it is grazing out of the second refracting surface. For angle of prism, which is taken to be limiting angle, means limiting angle is the angle of prism for which the grazing incidence and finally giving grazing emergence. That is called limiting angle. Okay. Right, in this case, C, R1, R2 both are critical angles, because here grazing, wherever we consider the grazing incidence or grazing emergence, then other side definitely it refracts. That refraction, angle of refraction taken to be critical angle. See here, this is grazing incidence, undergoes refraction. This angle of refraction is known as critical. By law of reversibility, here light is reversed, then incidence and angle of refraction here also critical angle. Therefore, R1 plus R2 equal to A, C plus C equal to A, 2C is equal to A is equal to 2C. Here if it is made of glass, suppose sin C is equal to 1 by mu glass, sin C is equal to 1 by 3 by 2, and sin C is equal to 2 by 3, C is equal to sin inverse 2 by 3, which gives us C is equal to 42 degree. This is the critical angle. Critical angle. So based on that, what is the angle of incidence for which the grazing incidence and finally giving grazing emergence? That A is equal to angle of prism is equal to 2 into 42 degree, which gives 84 degree. Means whenever a prism is made by glass, its angle of prism is 84 degree. 84 degree, for which light is grazing the first refracting surface, which is incident. Then finally after refraction, definitely it grazing out of the second refracting surface. For angle of prism is 84 degree. Therefore, this 84 degree is known as limiting angle. Okay, clear? So in this case, deviation suffered total is delta equal to I1 plus I2 minus A. We know this formula. Now, I1 is here 90 degree, pi by 2. I2 here, pi by 2. Total, pi by 2 plus pi by 2 minus A, pi minus A. A is equal to 2C and substituted here. This is the total deviation suffered. If you need the total value calculation, that for this value, for glass, then you can find easily that 180 minus 2C. 2C is equal to A is equal to 84 degree. 84 degree. The remaining value, whatever the value obtained, that is the total deviation suffered. Okay. Next, go for case 2. Large angled prism. Suppose if angle of prism is 84 degree in this case, which is taken to be limiting angle. So if angle of prism is greater than 2C, go for example, for 84 degree, grazing incidence is giving finally grazing emergence, 84 degree. Suppose angle of prism is, instead of 84 degree, suppose it is given 90 degree. It is given 90 degree. So 90 degree in the sense, angle of prism is greater than that of 2C, more than the limiting value. If it is more than the limiting value, that is A is greater than 2C, then the light is grazing the first refracting surface and it undergoes total internal reflection at the second refracting surface. Instead of refracting or instead of grazing the second refracting surface, it undergoes total internal reflection. Total internal reflection, TIR, takes place. Let us consider at the second refracting surface, grazing the second surface. Suppose there we can find the critical angle. So we can estimate the critical angle at the second refracting surface. We know that critical angle is estimated already over here, 42 degree. For 42 degree, grazing will start. Beyond this is a limiting condition. Beyond that, TIR takes place. Means TIR is taken into account from the limiting case. That is from grazing the next angle. Whatever the small angle is increased, then definitely that will be undergo TIR. Here the critical angle is calculated 42 degree. We know already here critical angle is calculated. Now this is known as large angled prism. Large angled prism. Large angled prism in the sense whenever the angle of prism is greater than 2c, so instead of grazing or refraction at the second refracting surface, the light undergoes total internal reflection. Here TIR takes place. Therefore, this is taken to be large angled prism. For large angled prism, so these large angled prisms are act as good reflectors. Good reflectors. Why? Because TIR in which there is no loss of energy at all. Whatever the energy incident, the same amount of energy will be reflected. Therefore, it is giving brightness and clearing. Therefore, these large angled prisms are used in decorating the functions. So that is giving more bright light, that is glaring light because of total internal reflection. So this is large angled prism. Suppose this large angled prism is submerged in a liquid, or say example water. If it is submerged in water, what happens? So instead of TIR takes place at the second refracting surface, so refraction takes place, it acts as ordinary prism. So what is the reason? So here let us find the critical angle whenever it is submerged in water. So sin C dash equal to 1 by mu glass with respect to water. Then simplifying this, sin C dash equal to is equal to 4 by 3 by 3 by 2, which gives 8 by 9. So C dash equal to sin inverse 8 by 9 giving 62 degree nearly. So what happened here? The critical angle is increased. Critical angle is increased. So critical angle for glass water medium is more than the critical angle for glass air medium. So whenever comparing these two, for 42 degree it is grazing, suppose. So if 43 degree, then TIR takes place. Actually here the critical angle is 62 degree. Means here C is less than C dash. C is less than C dash. Means C is taken to be angle of incidence less than the critical angle. If angle of incidence is less than critical angle, what happens? No TIR takes place. The result is it undergoes refraction through second refracting surface. Therefore, large angled prism is act as a ordinary prism. Whenever it is submerged in water or any liquid, then refractive index of the material medium with respect to liquid is that decreases, thereby the critical angle increases. So why this large angled prism, which is act as a good reflector, but even then it act as ordinary prism? This is the reason why the critical angle of this glass medium with respect to liquid that will be more than that of the glass with respect to air. Okay, so next go for another case. Yeah, for small angled prism, case 3. In the sense, angle of prism is very small. It is not big one. 30 degree, 40 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree. These are greater amounts. But here for small angled prism is very small. Either at 3 degree, 2 degree, 4 degree, something else. Very small. In such case, for small angled prism, the angle of incidence, angle of emergence will also be very small. How? Let us see. Here, this is say 60 degree or something else, greater amount. It is not small angled prism. So in this case, we consider this is the side and this is the normal rod. This is normal. Listen carefully. See here, this is the normal. This is incident ray. This is incident ray. This is the normal. Okay? Now, so what is the angle between these two? This is say 30 degree. Okay? Whenever this angle between two refracting surfaces are trying to reduce its value, minimum value, that is when you are trying to reduce this one, so this side will be tilt like this. If it is tilting like this, see here, incident ray being unchanged, but whenever this is tilting in order to get the minimum value of angle of prism, then here this is turning, this normal is turning toward the incident ray. What happens, see, the angle is decreasing. Therefore, if it is very small angle of prism, for that it is tilting more, therefore this normal is making angle with this incident ray, it is very negligible, very small. So that is the reason why for a small angled prism, I1 and I2 both are very small. R1, R2 are also small. If I1, I2 small, R1, R2 will also small. So using Snell's law at first refracting surface here, AB, then mu is equal to sin I1 by sin R1. So I1 and R1 are very small. Therefore, we can write it as sin I1. Sin I1 is taken to be I1. Sin R1 is taken to be R1. Therefore, mu is equal to directly I1 by R1. I1 is equal to mu R1. And at second refracting surface AC, there also we can write it as I2 is equal to mu R2, similar than that of here. Similar to that of here, I1 is equal to mu R1. Here I2 is equal to mu R2. Okay. Now, but delta deviation, total deviation formula, we know that I1 plus I2 minus A. So delta equal to, substituting this I1 value and I2 value, both are here. Then by simplifying, R1 plus R2 we know that is replaced by angle of prism A. Then by simplifying this, delta equal to mu minus 1 into A. So this is the deviation suffered by the light in case of small angled prism. Already this formula used at the beginning. So in case of dispersion of light, where the different light rays will have different deviations, for which the reason is given by taking this formula. So this formula is total deviation suffered by the light in case of small angled prism, delta is equal to mu minus 1 into A. Okay, next go for another case. Here case 4. When a ray of light incident normal to the first refracting surface AB, and after refraction, then it is grazing out of the second refracting surface, then angle of incidence is 0, because with reference to normal it is incidenting along the normal, and no deviation suffered in this case at the first refracting surface, because it is normal incidence, I1 equal to 0, R1 equal to 0. Then whenever it is grazing the second refracting surface, here this angle will be critical angle. So earlier given, again I repeat the same, wherever a ray is grazing the surface, on another side definitely it should be considered as a critical angle. Therefore, here it is grazing, but another side it is a critical angle. Okay, now R1 plus R2, which is A, R1 is 0, R2 is C, is equal to A, that is A is equal to C. Yes, already we calculated the critical angle. If this prism is made of glass, then what is the critical angle? 42 degree already calculated. For this angle of prism, always for this angle of prism, when ray incident normal to the first refracting surface, and the result is giving that emergent ray definitely grazing the second refracting surface. Whenever angle of prism is equal to critical angle, that is 42 degree, if it is made of glass. If material changes but critical angle changes, that is different issue. But the condition is equal to C. When we go for the deviation suffered by the light, so deviation is equal to I1 plus I2 minus A. See here, every time while you solve the problem or you go for the cases, we are using the equation that is in the derivation I mentioned there. that I1 plus I2 equal to, R1 plus R2 equal to A, equation 3. I1 plus I2 minus A is equal to delta, equation 5. These two are very important formulae. There I mentioned. But the same we are using the equations repeatedly, that R1 plus R2 equal to A and delta equal to I1 plus I2 minus A. Right, from this deviation is equal to I1 is 0, I2 plus 90 degree minus A is equal to C. Therefore, deviation suffered equal to 90 minus C, or delta equal to pi by 2 minus C. This is the deviation suffered by the light under this case. Okay, so critical angle and angle of prism both are equal for normal incidence at the first phase, and finally the emergent ray definitely grazing the second refractive surface. And let us move on the problem. Suppose angle of deviation, angle of minimum deviation of a prism. Angle of minimum deviation is equal to angle of prism or refracting angle. Then what is the refractive index of material of the prism? Once again I repeat the question. So whenever the minimum deviation suffered by the light by a prism is equal to its refracting angle, then what will be the refractive index of material medium? That example 1. Yes. So given condition is angle of minimum deviation is equal to refracting angle, means angle of prism. This is given. Therefore, refractive index of material equal to sin A plus delta minimum by 2 by sin A by 2. By simplifying this, sin A plus delta minimum is A, 2A by 2 by sin A by 2. Mu is equal to sin A remains. This can be written as sin A is equal to 2 sin A by 2 cos A by 2 by sin A by 2. Sin A by 2 gets cancelled. Mu is equal to 2 cos A by 2. So this is the refractive index of the prism. Okay, next we can also develop the one more question from this. So example 2. If you go for example 2, that is, whenever the angle of minimum deviation is equal to refracting angle of material of the prism, refracting angle of the prism, then what will be the angle of prism if refractive index is root 2? If refractive index is root 2, what will be the angle of prism? So we can easily find this. See here, mu is equal to root 2 given, and put here root 2 is equal to 2 cos A by 2. Then this is simplifying. Cos A by 2 is equal to 1 by root 2. Then A by 2 is equal to pi by 4. Then A is equal to pi by 2. Okay, once again we verify that refractive index is root 2 given. Then what happens here? Root 2 is substituted. Condition given, angle of minimum deviation is equal to refracting angle of the prism. Then refractive index is root 2. What will be the angle of prism? That can be found by substituting that mu is equal to root 2 is equal to 2 cos A by 2. Taking this side, 1 by root 2 remains, 1 by root 2 cos A by 2, cos theta equal to 1 by root 2 pi by 4, because it is 45 degree, then 2 gets cancelled, pi by 2. Or if refractive index of the prism is given, suppose in the same problem, that is root 3 given, then how do you solve this problem? Root 3 given, then root 3 is substituted here, then cos A by 2 is equal to root 3 by 2, cos theta equal to root 3 by 2, for which angle? 30 degree. So A by 2 is equal to 30 degree, A is equal to 60 degree. This is the angle of prism. So this is the way. So we developed 3 questions now. Question number 1 and question number 2, refractive index given under the same circumstances, that minimum deviation is equal to angle of prism. And in question number 3, again refractive index is changed, that is instead of root 2, root 3 is given, angle of prism is calculated as 60 degree. Okay.